warm welcome to each one of you to the Udan Roadshow, a nationwide initiative by HT Media in partnership with Dell Technologies and Intel. Let's welcome Mr. Radesh Shankanarayanan.
To begin with, the objective behind this exercise was to look at how India is rapidly developing and to give some speed or impetus to what's happening across the world, and how we can bring those experiences into India and how we can translate and transform or transition those experiences into the Indian context and help the MSMEs, which is one of the biggest I would say contributors to employment in the country. Approximately 50% of the workforce in India happens to be in the MSME segment. What does this MSME segment do for the country? It's around about 6.5 crore, strong body. With it provides close to around about 30% of our economy and contributes around 45% to the exports. 30% to the GDP and 45% to the exports. 90% of the total enterprise resides in this space. Which means essentially this is the place where you see organizations of tomorrow taking birth and taking shape. And when they are here, they experience a lot of issues, challenges, but nevertheless they are resilient, and some of them rise to the fore and they move through the entire journey. And we've witnessed a hell of a lot. And in fact, Dell themselves, we are a 41-year-old company. We started from a garage. So who else can relate to it better than us? We have seen the advent of technology like no other business. We've seen disruptions and chaos in the marketplace, in the industry, and we've lived through that. And last year, in fact, our chairman Michael Dell himself said we've come this far for the last 40 years, but let's draw a charter for the next 40 years of growth and transition story. So we've embraced AI in a very, very big way, and during the course of presentation I will also take you through where all we have impacted it to brought it into our organization, brought it for the benefit of customers, and how it's going to help the society at large through those. The objective was to, like I said, the small and medium businesses which were coming into the fore, our objective was to provide them with a platform, give them the modern technology, make them accessible to it at a reasonable cost so that they are able to benefit, and for their own work as well as their customers' work doesn't get hampered and gets executed in a timely manner. So we've been going through that path, and what we are seeing now is along the way, like we said, we wanted to empower the MSME, the SMBs, which small and medium business, which are the next, from a micro to the next level, and these are also the next growth growth engine for our country and economy. So what we do is we give them a lot of opportunities to scale their businesses, help them, work with them very closely. Why do we work with them very closely? Because unlike the large organizations, most of these smaller organizations lack in effective use of capital or access to the capital, effective opportunity for employing the right kind of resources in their organization, ability to attract the right professionals, and also to hold on to their employees. It is a big ask or a big task for most of these organizations. So how do we go about it? We help them, train them in our own way. We help them in terms of automation coming into a big play in their place. And since they are a smaller organization and they are nimble, they are able to scale, they are able to use this technology to ensure that they don't have to rely on too many people. At the same time, the technology is always available for them. It's not as if it's becoming a challenge for them. For example, in 20 years back we did not have UPI. 20 years back we did not have Swiggy. 20 years back we probably did not have Amazons of the world. We didn't have any of these modern day, we call them, necessities, right? All this had been made possible due to the advent of technology. All of these are the modern organizations which have grown or which have taken birth in the technology era. And these are all disruptors. You had Amazon coming and breaking the myth about the wholesale markets and other places where you were getting the material, you didn't have to go anywhere else. You could use the technology to order something, and by sitting at home, you could order anything. It started off as a book, but it later on matured it into different phases. Taking a leaf out of that, Blinkit came and came up with a bigger disruption. It came up with a 10-minute kind of a thing. Before that, I don't know how many of you are remembering, there was another company which came up with a 40-minute product delivery. Anybody remembers that? Or else free? Who else? They give it free? If in 40 minutes if they don't deliver? Pizza. Absolutely. Domino's was the first one to launch on this platform about getting the product to reach you within 40 minutes. Till 30 minutes, and then unless it's free, it depends on location, depends on city, they used to do that. So till then we had never thought about, we never equated time with money, time or a service with money. If there was no penalty clause in our society. We have something called IST, right? What is the form? Anybody knows what is IST stand for in India? IST. No, it is Indian stretchable time. Indian stretchable time, because any manager you ask anybody, they will always say, हाँ भी दे रहा हूँ, ये अभी जो है कभी नहीं होता है. That. So look at the way things have rapidly evolved over such a long period, wherein 20 years our mindset has slowly changed to the extent that we are very impatient if in 10 minutes something is not coming in. We're looking at a watch, okay, we ordered it at 10 minutes back, आया नहीं है, कोई MyGate पे कुछ message नहीं आया कि बंदे ने pre-approval नहीं लिया है. For people who are staying, living in communities, they will be familiar with MyGate as a platform. So look at how you are having so many technologies getting intrinsically involved with each other seamlessly for the delivery of a product. You never went to MyGate, for instance. You ordered on some other platform, but that platform used MyGate for access to you. How things are evolving. Was it possible to think in the past? And was it that MyGate was a product of Infosys? No. TCS? No. These are all coming from organizations like you. It was a brainchild. How can I make things better for somebody? And what did MyGate? It was more about ensuring the better security for the community. I'm seeing technology impacting each and everyone's life, and at scale. Whenever it is at scale, that business scales up faster, and VCs come and fund it bigger because they see immense potential in a marketplace like India, where such a huge population exists and so many people wanting to live in communities. There is a desire and there is an opportunity, and it is turning into a business proposition which can succeed, which may succeed at a higher probability. So these are transformations which are happening inside the country and at large. And why do I say that? I'm very fortunate to be part of this generation which has seen, like Mr. Tikendra Singh se meri baat ho rahi thi. He said he's a very young man, and I said I'm just 20 years behind you. And he mentioned his immense experience, and I can relate to him. But my son may not be able to relate to you, sir, because you have seen cycle. You would have seen the radios which were there, which had knobs which you had to turn around to catch hold of a station. People today don't even know what is a radio. Okay, CDs came, went. So many things which came and which have gone. Today, The only thing which we are seeing right now, and we are the fortunate generation which has seen that, we are the transition generation which has seen that life. I just want to ask some of you here, has anyone ever gone to a ration shop, barring the old white hair and loss of hair people? Has anyone seen a ration shop? Ration shop? I'm saying we have seen that. We have done that. Is it meaningful today? Today, but not to us, but to a larger society which is coming up from the ranks. So it's our objective that what has been for us, if you look back 20 or 30 years back, it was very important for us because it was it gave us the affordability to survive. What elevated us from 40 years back from that society to the next level was education. And what has propelled us from there to now is also education, but linking all this or putting us at a fast pace has been the IT part. IT has intrinsically woven all of this and helped us scale this in a much faster pace than any other country in the world today. In fact, if you were to look at some of the technologies which are getting developed here, nobody else is implemented. 5Gs are all implemented here first than in the US. We talk about US being the best place for technology or countries which have the highest number of Fortune 100 companies. But today, application of all of these technologies are happening in India. We generate all of this. Where is UPI? The interface which is there. Nobody else has in the world, but we have done it. We have linked it to several things which we thought would not be seen. At least I never expected or anticipated that Aadhaar will become so powerful. I was always jealous of Social Security card in the US and the potential it had to, reach out to so many citizens at any given point in time. I never thought in my lifetime I would see such far-reaching development happening in this country. How did UIDAI come up with that Aadhaar? That's also based on technology. How it is being implemented, technology. Look at where all it is impacted. Your passports, it is impacted. Now, every step of the way, there are people who are technocrats who are, giving a brain or giving a thought and taking the thought leadership to the next level. But taking the economy to the next levels requires MSMEs like you. And I don't think there's any other opportunity today, better opportunity today, elsewhere in the world, or where you get so much of importance, so much of leeway in terms of availability of finances, access to professionals, so many bodies available for you to reach out to for any advice. And all the organizations today like us are wanting the society at large to improve, and so that everyone benefits, society at large benefits from the overall development which happens for the citizens. So we've been at the forefront of this. The usage of that is happening. We've been involved with Zoho for the last maybe around about 17-18 years. We've been there with them right from the day they started off. We've been working with them and through their course. But one thing which we've always liked about them is that they've said, we want to develop everything locally in India, and we want to do it in a rural environment. Meaning, he used to go do backward integration. He would not support migration to the cities, saying that we should be able to create world-class software or world-class products from our own backyard, and we don't need to go to the cities to have access to technology or access to organizations. So he promoted that. I am seeing many more. In fact, during the last 5-6 years, I've seen a lot of professionals now working in smaller towns, going back into those towns and saying that it's easier for me to manage a smaller space or a larger space in those towns, having access to more professionals there. This is what is happening. The digital divide that used to exist in the past, where we had concentration of population or engineers across maybe 4 or 5 cities, Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, if you were to look at, and maybe Chennai. Now it is spreading. It's spreading across. There are tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities developing at a faster pace. And if you see, the advent of this was when you saw people reaching higher levels coming from small towns, the belief or the self-belief started exploding. And I saw this happening with Mahendra Singh Dhoni bursting onto the scene, coming from a very, very, I don't know how many of we were not even aware of Ranchi, in a small town location, and from there he came in and he's become the numero uno in the cricket and captain of India, highly successful one at that. That actually broke the myth that only city kids can deliver, or city professionals can deliver, or people who think in English only can deliver. And from there we started seeing that, the vernacular medium coming in, whether you look at Zoho, whether you look at Flipkart, for instance, or many other, Big Bazaar, for instance. Big Bazaar, when it came as a retail boom, he just started with the concept of creating chaos inside in a building. His point was that Indians love to shop in a chaotic place, which is coming from a bazaar. Everywhere technology was being displayed. We didn't even know about it. Inventory management, the way things were running. He did not do a great job, Mr. Biani, but somebody else is doing a better job, learning from his mistakes. DMart is one which is, exactly copied that thought process, taken it to the next levels, and multiplying faster and faster and across the globe. And they are using huge amount of technology within their place. So technology as such has been used a lot. Now let me tell you, yesterday I met a customer, meaning he's been my customer for last 6-7 years now, and in that you would not even believe that, in a field we don't think technology would be used or would be at the forefront. They have developed an LLM and they have started using for their own internal requirement, which is law practice. Can you think of a legal customer from the legal world using AI for benefit of their own customers, for themselves, to do research work, look at and reference case laws, look at past historical judgments, which judgments have come in, what time? All of this, if you were to do it in the past, the way normal or manual way, it would have taken a long time for everyone. It would have taken maybe 15-20 days for someone to do research work. Today it is getting crunched into minutes, and less than half an hour, within minutes they are getting a complete complete summary is coming, and in fact even the decision making insights are being provided. So we have come up with different kind of category of notebooks, laptops that we call for professional grade, from a productivity standpoint. We have different product lines here. We've in the early part of the year we came up with rationalizing the nomenclature which we existed in the past. We had different names for different products. We thought of doing away with it and making it simplified. Came up with Dell Pro, Dell Pro Max, so that it encompasses or it focuses on the persona of the people who are going to be using it. It just focuses on them, and they can go ahead and buy whatever product which fits their use case. So for people who are in the doing maybe in the education, maybe schooling or college, or at entry level work, we thought we will position a product called Dell, which is very efficient, super efficient product, value for money, and gives big value in terms of performance as well. For the next levels, wherein we thought we have organizations which have got middle level executives and who want a workhorse of a product, we came up with Dell Pro. And for people who are into designing and higher end or looking at lightweight systems, we came up with Dell Pro Max, which gives far superior performance, at the same time Earlier, if you remember, we used to talk about a personal computer which would have a CPU. Then we came across something called a graphical processing unit. In fact, when you reached a college stage and where you started working on projects, especially in the engineering colleges, you would have seen that you had HPC, high performance compute environments, where you were deploying different projects, maybe for simulation, or maybe for, let me put it this way, doing projects which require running things on a repeat basis and running multiple tasks, and you would come up with those. It could be for weather, or it could be for any of finite element FEMs, or you could be doing some research on automotive parts or any of those things. So you would have, for mechanical engineering, that would, what I would say, from a civil engineering perspective, I would say structural analysis, for instance, would require these kind of compute. Graphic nodes would be required. Now, what with AI, what NVIDIA, we came up with this, what we have come up with is NPUs, neural processing unit. It also helps in terms of, it is primarily aimed at diverting the AI workloads into that place, on the device itself. It's able to do. Along with that, what we have also come up with is something called discrete GPU. It's essentially a dedicated graphic processing unit with its own memory, optimized, and it's primarily aimed at AI training and high definition stuff, right? Resolution, high resolution image operations. It would not be right, on my part, if I were not to talk about the contribution of Intel alongside us in this journey of ours. When we are developing these products, they've been standing right beside us, and we have the Intel Inside program, wherein we have different processors coming from Intel Core Ultra. You have Intel vPro available, Intel Xeon, and the other ones as well. And these are available in different forms, different categories, which have different processing powers, and hence available in different forms. Objective is that how do we ensure there is a transfer of or sharing of knowledge across the platform, and because one shares with somebody, it benefits in a different way. And how do we take this forward? That's all from my side. Thank you everyone.
So let me introduce you to our leader for this workshop, Mr. Ayush Singhal.
So thank you so much for the organizers, HT Media, Dell and Intel, for inviting me to this event and giving me this opportunity to talk to you all and discuss how we can add value to the MSMEs in the India. So we already have listened a lot from Rajesh ji, how MSMEs are actually changing and shaping our economy in the country, and how we are adopting AI and technology as a business owner today. Now, the change in the landscape, like what we have been seeing from last a decade or so. We started with tools, like productivity tools, like Excel came first, and SAP, Oracle, these kind of tools came that helps we as a business owner to make ourselves productive. And then the shape, that changed to software as a service. SaaS tools came into the picture. And now it's like generative AI, which actually is the forefront of the SaaS model itself. So we are now having a direct outcome driven applications. Like instead of using a SaaS tool to automate your invoice generation, you can just go to an AI agent that can entirely automate your process of entering a customer data and creating an invoice generation for you. So that's a difference, how we have adopted from conversational AI, right? We started with ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude. These are conversational AI tool, right, to the agentic AI, which helps us in getting the job done for you. This is the entire flow of the agents working together, same as we imagine an agency. If we outsource any task to an agency, they have a suite of developers which works together. You can imagine it like your virtual development agency working it for you. So you describe your task. This is my requirements. So the suite of AI agents, whether it is for code reviews, whether it is for development, whether testing, so all those grunt work which is involved in software development, that is handled by CodeMate. And now we are also integrated with all the chat platforms as well. You can easily use CodeMate within your WhatsApp or Slack or your day-to-day communication platform. You can ping it as your like developer. You can simply ping it, hey, can you just make me a website or make me an application or complete me this particular task. It can spin up a virtual machine and do that job for you and give you the live link in front of you as well. So this is on addition to what you are already been building in a SaaS platform as well. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. I just had a quick walkthrough of it and would love to connect with you all. You can just scan and reach out to us anytime. Thank you so much.